Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today this is going to be a slight part two of a couple of videos that I did a while back. Some additional VCLT that came from uh, two YouTube buddies of mine. The first being the great Rich Strickler, and the second being a fella who doesn't have a channel. We're still working on him to get a channel, but his name is Robert S. This is his YouTube handle. So Rich and Robert were fortunate to send me some gifts not too long ago. I know Rich sent me several albums that I had mentioned on my albums that I've never owned playlist, and he was very generous in filling some of those gaps for me. And Robert did the same thing. And Robert then decided to send me a couple of Americana albums that I'd never heard of that he thought that I would like because he's a nice guy like that. So Rich sent me the gifts, and then he said that another album was being shipped separately. So I want to go ahead and show that. Rich sent me a copy of Rumors by Fleetwood Mac, which I've never owned before. This is just the standard CD version that came out before the big remix. Everybody knows this album. I didn't own it. Now I have it. So Rich, thank you very much for filling that hole. Next, Robert S. He sent me again some records not too long ago, and then these just came in the mail within the last week or so, maybe about 2 weeks for the first one here. And I wanted to make sure that both of them were together, so I'm not doing an unboxing or anything, but I wanted to show you what Robert sent me. The first is this gentleman by the name of Robert Francis, who I've never heard of, but I listened to this album. It's very good, it's right up my alley. Acoustic, Americana, songwriter kind of stuff. A little bit darker than some Americana acts, but what really caught my attention about this album, which is called Strangers in the First Place from 2012, is that it has special appearances by Mike Campbell of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and Ry Cooder, who is a slide guitar maestro. So I think that was really cool that this guy, essentially unknown, gets these two big names like Mike Campbell and Ry Cooder to fill in some session work on this album. So that was really cool, and that really piqued my interest once I read that in the liner notes. So thank you, Robert. And the final album that Robert sent me, and I'd never heard of this group either. This is a one-off album by the super group called The Thorns, and this came in the mail. This is the most recent album I've received, but it's a super group made up of Pete Droge, Sean Mullins, and Matthew Sweet. And they have a killer version of the song Blue on here, which one of my favorite groups, the Wild Feathers, also covers the song Blue. And yeah, this album came out in 2003. Kind of a more Heartland feel than the first album I showed. Yeah, great songwriting by the three guys. I want to say there's some other killer players on here if I remember right. I might just be making it up, but I think I know who it is. I think Jim Keltner is on this, the session player extraordinaire, the session drummer. Let me see. So this was really nice to receive. Let's see. Y'all can talk amongst yourselves, or if you haven't already logged off. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you have Jim Keltner on the drums, Greg Lease on mandola, mandolin. Of course, he plays slide guitar now with Jackson Brown. Roy Bitton of the E Street Band is on this as well. And then the strings were arranged by the very popular, very famous Paul Buckmaster. So it's an all-star cast of players on this thing. And then just great singing and songwriting as well. So thank you, Robert. Thank you, Rich, for these add-ons to some VCLT that y'all sent me earlier in the month. I really do appreciate it. And check out Rich's channel if you haven't already. We're doing some Beatles rankings that we're toward the end of. Now we're winding down. And for those of you that know Robert, let's get on him a little bit to make a channel, because we'd love to hear what he has to say and what he has to add. So thank you both very much, and I'll talk to y'all real soon.